Okay, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to just show people how we bulk qualify all of our lead lists before actually outreaching to them. So the problem that we're solving here is that when you scrape a big lead list from Apollo or Sales Navigator or Lusher or wherever you're getting that data from, the challenge is that there's going to be a lot of people in that list that might not be relevant to your ICP specifically. Now, way back, 2, 3 years ago, it would have been okay. You could have just kind of got away with, keeping those people who might not have been ICP in your list and just kind of taking it on the chin when they come back and say, we're not a recruitment company. Why are you outreaching to me? You know, but in today's landscape, that can have quite adverse effects on your deliverability and the health of your infrastructure, because if people are now manually putting you into the spam folder, which obviously people still will, regardless of how relevant your outreach is to them, because some people are just a bit grumpy. But we definitely want to be looking at ways to reduce it as much as possible today. So I was just doing a bit of work here, and I thought that it would be useful to just show you an example now for how we actually go about this using clay.com. So to give you some context, this is a big list of recruitment companies. So instead of, when we build our lists, instead of looking at the industries, we look for keywords mentioned in SEO descriptions, company names, social media tags, that sort of thing. And then we'll filter down from there, because we tend to find that we manage to find a few more companies doing that way rather than just relying on industries alone. So I'm going to show you now a really easy and cheap way. I think in total this will probably cost about $12 to qualify our whole list. But this is just an easy and cheap way to basically go through your entire list. So you can see here above we've got a list of 26,000 people here. So it's not a small list by any means. And ultimately qualify them all and easily remove any of these companies that aren't an exact fit for what we're going after. And again, the advantage of this is that we can send out more relevant outreach, and we limit as much as possible the chance that someone is going to manually place us into that spam folder. So this is just a prompt here. I'm going to show you the context of this, but I just want to firstly go over how you can use Clay to generate prompts. So you can see when you set up the use AI module in Clay, you get this little generate button down here. And then what we've done is then we just basically generate a description using AI. I'm going to show you the prompt for that in a moment. And then I'm now going to get another AI to read that description and determine whether there's any relevancy at all to providing recruitment, staffing, personnel, or hiring services. So if we generate this prompt now, then the AI is ultimately going to create a prompt for us. And then we'll just make sure that it's on the right model, which it is. For these sort of small qualification tasks, I tend to find that GPT 4.1 Nano is always the best for this. So we'll just let it generate its prompt now, and then we'll add it in. Taking its time today. There we go. So now this is ultimately going to read the description here that we generated, which I'm going to show you how we set up in a moment, and it's going to determine the likelihood that they are a recruitment company for us. So if we now just run this, I'm going to show you the costs of this as well. I'm going to show you how you can set this up for yourself. If we just wait for this to send some results, so you can see here that this is currently costing 0.00012. So in total for this list, that'll cost about $2.60, I think, to just qualify the whole thing. I think this will end up costing about $14-15. So that sort of $17 total is 100% worth it, because if you don't do this, it will have a lot more effects that will cost you a lot more than just $17, i.e. I'm talking having to set up a whole new infrastructure if you do get a lot of spam complaints from people who just aren't relevant to the copy that you're actually sending out. So it's really important that we do this, and it's why we bang on about it a lot in our agency, to make sure that we're constantly staying on top of qualification. So we'll run this whole thing here, and I'm just going to show you now how we set up this initial prompt, because this is a little bit different. So this is a web research prompt, and what we're doing is we're visiting the company LinkedIn page here. So AI is doing this at scale for us, and we're asking it to generate a keyword-rich company description based on the on-page information. Now, when you scrape some databases, you will get a description from it. So that's obviously always an advantage, because then you don't need to go and generate one, right? But for the most part, we tend to find that those descriptions off the databases are a little bit, you're giving the prospect too much control in that sense, because it's their description that they're writing. They might not, they might make it all sales focused instead of telling people what they actually are, So what we tend to do is generate our own, just to standardize the data. It doesn't cost much, and it just means that we can get that a little bit extra accuracy. So yeah, you can see here we've got all these descriptions that are generating, and then we've got our AI here that's then going to qualify the company. So our ICP in this case is recruitment companies, but I just wanted to show you, in fact we can just click off that. I just wanted to show you right down at the bottom here, we have some companies that, again, probably aren't going to be. So here, look, we've got like a recruitment, a law firm here. So if we click on their LinkedIn, like this is a law firm. So when we've built our list, there's probably been something somewhere in their company description that has mentioned that they maybe do, I don't know, law for recruitment potentially. And that's what's caused them to drop into our total prospect list. So obviously this is why we have this AI system, because we don't want to be, reaching out to this company. Like if I sort of force run this row now, we'll see if that'll work for us here. But yeah, I don't want to be reaching out to a law company in a recruitment campaign. Do you know what I mean? And you can see that this is what our qualifier is now going to do for us. So we'll be able to go through this entire list at scale, generate descriptions for cheap, and then for even cheaper, qualify them based on a criteria of our ICP. And in the end, when this entire enrichment is done, we'll have gone through our whole list and would have been able to really easily take out any companies that aren't exactly who we want to be reaching out to. So what does this do for your brand when you work with us on your outreach campaigns? Well, it means that all the people that you reach out to are going to be relevant to your ICP. That means that there's as little chance as possible that anything brand related will go wrong, or that your brand reputation will be affected, because we do this for every client religiously, Again, it means that the health of your infrastructure will be longer, or it will be healthier for longer, just because the more relevant your outreach is, the less spam complaints you're likely to get. Like, yeah, you'll have people who aren't interested, but they won't end up putting you in the spam folder. They'll just say, "Oh no, thanks, not for me." You'll obviously get the odd grump or two who will put you in the spam folder anyway. But I think that the point I'm making is it's going to be heavily reduced if you do these steps before you launch your campaign, to make sure everything is as relevant as it can be. So if this looks like something that you would want to implement into your business, like if you're looking at launching really at scale outreach campaigns, let's say, for example, you're a business right now that has a really good offer, you've got a really good offer, you've got some case studies under your belt, that you can provide a really good service for your customers, but you're just missing the top of funnel volume actually coming in. You're missing the inquiries. There's no, leads actually entering your pipeline for you to sell to. If that sounds like you, then get in touch, because, a lot of this stuff we will implement for you. If you want to learn more about our models as well, so we provide both plans for small businesses and larger businesses who want a fully managed service with a concierge package on the back of it as well. So if this does sound like something that's up your street, there's going to be a discovery call button somewhere on my YouTube channel or on my LinkedIn feed if that's where you're looking as well. Feel free to just go on there, check us out. We've just launched our new website as well, so any feedback will be massively appreciated on that. And then, if you want to book a meeting, learn some more about what we can do for your business specifically, feel free to book a meeting, and I look forward to chatting through that. Thanks so much.